TIFU by sending my daughter to school with a 3 million Scoville sandwich. TIFU OMG Reddit. I'm such an idiot. I'll start off by saying that my wife has very weak taste buds. She can hardly taste anything unless they're on extremes of their flavor. Stupid salty. Stupid spicy. ECT. Well, it's my job to get the kids ready for school. Make lunches. Get them dressed and out to the bus. Then I go off to work. Well, this particular day my wife was working an early shift, so I decided to make her a lunch as well. I made ham sandwiches for all 3 lunches. 2 normal sandwiches for my daughters and 1 sandwich with the last dab spread across thickly on both sides of the sandwich. I put them all into baggies and packed up. If you don't know what the last dab is, it's a hot sauce made by a popular YouTube channel that sits at 3 million Scoville. It's not for the weak. It's powerful. It sets your whole body on fire, and there isn't much to do but try milk and wait for the spice to pass. Today around 11:30, I got a call from my oldest daughter teacher saying she was in agony, that she vomited all over the floor and is in the nurse's office being assessed. I immediately knew what I did. Left work and rushed to the school. I stopped at a gas station to get some whole milk and some thick milk chocolate to try and help her. I've heard chocolate works but never had the misfortune to try it. When I got there, the nurse had figured out what had happened, and I got an earful from her about the dangers of spicy food for young kids, and I could have done some damage. I agreed, and I just let her go off on me while I was comforting my daughter because frankly, I deserved it. I explained what happened to the principal, who wanted to fill out an incident report. He was understanding that mistakes happen, but also said this mistake could have been worse. Again, I agreed. I am so embarrassed. When I told my wife what had happened when she got home, she went to comfort our daughter. Jokingly called me a huge moron. I agreed, and we had a bit of a laugh with my 2 daughters over it. My daughter has since recovered, and I've learned a valuable lesson. Don't make radioactive sandwiches around food for your kids. TL. Doctor. I made my daughter sick by sending her with a super spicy sandwich meant for my wife. Man, I don't know if I should feel bad or laugh my ass off. Is she hooked on spice now? Today on Hot Ones, we ask Stacy why she hates her father so much. So let's start off with Da Bomb. Beyond insanity. Less than dramatic music. Black and white face close-up. So, Stacy, it's been reported that your dad gave you violent explosive diarrhea in front of your friends at school. So tell me about that incident. My gran make a toxic sandwich on purpose when I was a kid. Told me not to eat my lunch that day. The kid who had been pilfering my lunch was truly sorry. She refused to apologize. She pureed chilies to look like tomato sauce. God, I miss her. The dangers of spicy food for young kids. Laughs in Mexican. WTF, your wife taste buds how? Lol. My kids used to take applesauce to school every day with lunch. They liked it extra cinnamon flavored. So I would put it in the dish and then add cinnamon on top. One day kiddo came home and said, something was wrong with my applesauce. Being the good dad, I grabbed the jar. Smelled it. Tasted it. It all seemed okay. My friends and I all said it smelled really bad and tasted worse. I threw it away. Huh. Well, never gonna find out the answer here. Until dinner time when my wife is cooking. Why is the cumin opened? Quote. Turns out in my pre-caffeinated state I misread cumin for cinnamon. They are in similar sized containers and both are brown, so I didn't notice the difference. Cumin is not good on applesauce, I have been informed. That next day my kids took over making their own lunch. And, something is wrong with, said like an exasperated 10-year-old as a house joke. Pretty rough school day. Being floored by lap-strength capsaicin. But at least you didn't give 2x adult dose edibles to your friend's 3-year-old. Let's hope her next poop is at home and not at school, otherwise you might be getting another call. Hey. Guy at work offered me a biscuit one night. I knew he liked trolling people with his spicy treats. But I gave it a go. Should have paused when said biscuit was very soggy from the sauce. Should have stopped after the first small bite immediately hit hot territory. Alas, my brain switched off, and I ate the entire biscuit. First, the mouth heat kept ramping up. Then the sweats and apparently red face. Finally followed by the cramping and almost vomiting. I don't remember if he said 6 or 16 million Scoville. Either way, it ruined my lunch break. And I don't know how I managed to stay at work for the remaining 2 hours. Ouch. About the dangers of spicy food for young kids, and I could have done some damage. Is there any official and trustful research on this? Or is it just one of those things that people like to say out loud without anything to back it up? What kind of damage can spicy food do to kids besides the burn? I feel like people try to imply it will cause severe irreversible stomach damage or something. Edit. I just realized that the corrector on mobile tricked me here and here. Added and changed a few words. That nurse is wrong. Spicy foods aren't actually too dangerous for pretty much anyone. Don't feel too bad op. It's really not that dangerous. https i.imager.com/b62elsia.png. The money you could probably make with your wife's mouth though. With something that's spicy. I suggest thinking of it as an allergen to anyone but who's eating it. If making multiple items, make and store separately the non-spicy item. First prepare it at a separate counter at a separate time with separate tools. Label clearly the spicy item in a way everyone, you, your wife, your children, will recognize. Ensure that you clean up anything you use. Other than discomfort and vomit. I was under the assumption that capsaicin caused no negative physical effects. From what I can gather, the nurse was really giving you an earful. Which I would think is less for a parent that makes a small mistake and more for an actual shit parent. What was the nurse saying? One day I ate a bite of some chili pepper that, I was told, was a cross between a scorpion and a pepperoncino calabrese. I was told it sat at 2 million Scoville scale. I don't really know if that was right or wrong. And at this point I don't care. Right after biting and chewing it, my mouth was assaulted by what seemed a downpour of molten, fuming lava. It was unbearable, even with abundant washes with milk. But the worst was yet to come. The worst was when I could feel that tiny bite of pepper traveling through my digestive system. In the beginning I could exactly pinpoint its position through my esophagus. Then in my stomach. Then, as it started being digested, the very localized pain became just a nightmare of suffering, as every part touched by its fiery essence were slowly liquefying. That day I had to have a lunch with a couple of friends. I ended up leaving earlier and crawling home. At one point seriously thinking of calling back one of them and ask her to get me to the hospital. I don't know how I managed to get home. I was folded in half for the pain, profusely sweating a cold, icy sweat, and burning at the same time. Needless to say, I was in for an ever worse experience. The expulsion. Your kid will be fine. That nurse is a twat. Shit happens. On the bright side, your kid will probably either grow to love spice or hate it for life. So you can share your passion or have it all to yourself. If it makes you feel better, I added Godslayer hot sauce to a Bloody Mary meant for me but was swiped by my mate. What I thought would be a karma event turned into an Uno reverse for me. Cue panic as he's speechless, breathless and puking red mist everywhere. What's wrong with your wife? Edit. I'm asking about her not being able to taste anything. Doesn't anyone else find that strange? Is it after COVID or a head injury or a brain tumor? This is an ad.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.